Member for Vieux South.
Mr. Speaker, I join my colleague in welcoming the project. But I note that the final verdict on that project has to be given after the explanations offered by the member for Vieux South. There are two aspects, I think, Mr. Speaker, that merits comments, and one touches tangentially on the contribution of my colleague from Dennery North. Mr. Speaker, from time to time in this House, we are presented with motions emanating initially, of course, from regional institutions, in this case the OECS, to lend our support to financial measures. In other words, we join with other governments in the region to guarantee debts that would be managed by the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. I have in the past cautioned about this increasing tendency for international organizations to go through regional organizations for projects of one kind or another. But I guess at the end of the day, Mr. Speaker, it's a matter of judgment which type of projects better suit a regional approach. The problem, however, is information. We got the motion, and obviously all that we have in the motion are essentially the financial underpinnings of the motion. The amount of money, what rates of interest, etc. Outside of that, there is nothing that really explains what the project is about, except, of course, when the member from Vieux South provided the explanation to the House. Now, I have always had an issue with the accountability of regional organizations when they use the powers of parliaments to seek authority to engage in activities of one kind or another. Perhaps, Mr. Speaker, the OECS, after consultation with regional governments, including the government of St. Lucia, may want to rethink its approach on these matters, and whenever they are approaching parliaments for their endorsements for loans of one kind or another. And I say this because, Mr. Speaker, it's nothing unusual. We have had that kind of approach in the past, but increasingly it becomes clearer that there is need for information on these matters. And perhaps what can be done in these circumstances, Mr. Speaker, is that the OECS, through the office of the Prime Minister, supply all members of Parliament with basic information of what it is they're asking Parliament to do, so that they don't really just send the information on to opposition parliamentarians or members on the other side, but they circulate it to everybody, and this, of course, will undoubtedly help the explanations. And in any event, should there be any questions that will be posed to the person who is bringing the motion, one would be better prepared to do this. I get a sense that the OECS is becoming more and more remote from the peoples of the region, from the parliaments of the region, and this is really becoming a very intriguing issue. But that apart, Mr. Speaker, I raise again the matter of accountability of the OECS organization, as well as others too, for projects they have been given to manage. We never seem to know what happens to these projects. You hear announcements from time to time. I mean, I know, for example, about the pedestrianization of the project in respect of the boulevard. I mean, that has been a project which was negotiated during the tenure of the former government, and it's been with them for quite some time. So you hear the announcements, but, Mr. Speaker, you never hear about the results of the implementation of the project. And perhaps some consideration could be given to persuading the Secretariat, or what they call themselves now, there's the Commission. It's an unusual term, but never mind. To persuade the Commission to publish information on how they are implementing these projects and the outcome of these projects. Normally, Mr. Speaker, Parliament never makes a big issue of projects managed by regional organizations. We never do. I think the tendency has always been to support the government of the day in these projects, and I don't think that should change at all. Simply what I'm saying is that there has to be a far greater level of accountability from these regional organizations regarding the implementation of these projects. But all in all, this is a good project, and I have no difficulty in joining my colleague and welcoming this project for the region. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.